Super Sunday in Maharashtra as MNS chief Raj Thackeray is all set for a mega rally in Aurangabad. The rally has sent political circles abuzz as MNS leader is likely to praise UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, inching a step closer towards cementing the party's ties with the BJP. Now the choice of holding the rally in Aurangabad is also significant. It was from the same venue that Bal Thackeray had launched his hardline Hindutva pitch back in 1988. Perhaps this is why poster wars have also started off before the rally over the legacy of Bal Thackeray. Let's go across to our guest joining us. We have with us Mr. R. Rajgopalan, who's a senior journalist. Also with us on the broadcast, we have Ravi Srivastav joining us. Ravi Srivastav, first and foremost, all eyes on what really will happen today at that particular rally. Now, this is ahead of the May 3rd deadline that has been given by the MNS on the issue of loudspeaker. Where are you looking at Raj Thackeray's positioning? Because many are saying that it is the legacy of Bal Thackeray that Raj Thackeray is once again going to reclaim, not just in terms of the venue, but also the kind of positioning and posters that we've seen coming up in Aurangabad today.
Madhav, Raj Thackeray, in fact, is a marginalized politician as far as Maharashtra is concerned. You must have seen in last 2 or 3 years, he was just not visible, and he is trying to regain by lost ground by, clinging upon BJP. And BJP is using it as a cover fire. Now, BJP has what they have done to Navneet Rana, everybody has seen. Now, this is again, Raj Thackeray is trying to do it. Raj Thackeray has got the deepest distinction in Maharashtra politics. The way his party's group had beaten the people coming from UP and Bihar at Kalyan railway station, that everybody had seen. And his hatred for the other people coming to Maharashtra for their job or work or trade or something, he is very well known. So Raj Thackeray is almost irrelevant, but let him try. He is a BJP proxy. BJP is trying to push him forward for this, because this Chalisa and all is not an issue in Maharashtra at all. They are deliberately created purposefully. Ajan and this Hanuman Chalisa, these are all irrelevant issues. So I don't think that he is going to get any...
Okay, these are irrelevant issues. They won't work on ground, says Ravi Srivastav. Mr. Rajgopal, your response to these charges, because many would say that at least in terms of the kind of activity that we've seen on ground, the kind of heat that these issues have generated, certainly Raj Thackeray feels that this is the correct time to reposition himself, not just in relation to the local issues of Maharashtra or Maharashtra identity issues, but also at the same time positioning himself as a champion of Hindutva.
Maharashtra politics is heating up. Anything. Important aspect is Raj Thackeray is going to be the future of Maharashtra. The reason being, 18 to 20 MLAs of Shiv Sena who have been closely known to Uddhav Thackeray, Bal Thackeray and also to Raj Thackeray are in touch with Mr. Raj Thackeray. At any point of time, they may resign their MLA-ship and join Mr. Raj Thackeray. That is the scenario. In 2 months, 3 months' time, you wait and watch. Before presidential elections, or July 25th, Maharashtra government will fall. That is the scenario emerging. But let us be very frank. Maharashtra politics has heated up, and my understanding is Maharashtra politics, after Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, Navneet Rana, Paramveer Singh, Anil Deshmukh, Nawab Malik, these are all certain people who are all in jail. Now, things are folding up. Uddhav Thackeray lost his control in the administration. He pledged the government. He surrendered before Mr. Sharad Pawar. These are all certain things which is irking the Shiv Senics, those who are all original Shiv Senics. I am in touch with at least 3 or 4 Shiv Sena MLAs. They tell me in person, we are in touch with Mr. Raj Thackeray. So therefore, there is a danger to Mr. Uddhav Thackeray's government to catch up that. Today, they see the crowd, which you are now showing, that itself exhibits that Raj Thackeray is in control and he is going to be the future of youth of Maharashtra, pro-Hindutva feeling. That is why he is in touch with BJP leaders, Yogi Adityanath. Comment about Uttar Pradesh में योगी है, Maharashtra में एक बोगी है. That itself is a turning point in Maharashtra politics.
Madhav, can I respond, please?
Yeah, Mr. Ravi Srivastava, the point that I want to make is this, that, what we've seen, the kind of heat that has been generated following the arrest of Ranas, I think you may say that this is not an issue, but the fact is that this certainly, at least MNS and the BJP feel, are issues that somewhere they have been able to connect with the people, and that is why they're going in for this kind of positioning, because otherwise, look at the kind of response. We're showing you these visuals of the kind of crowd that we're looking at. Clearly, it appears, at least from these visuals, that there is some kind of support that Raj Thackeray, at least in certain pockets, appears to be gaining traction with the raising of these issues. And he feels it's the opportune time to position himself.
The situation was such that, first of all, the way Mr. R. Rajgopalan was telling, the BJP is writing the obituary of MBA Maharashtra Agadi government right since that November 2019. When at 5:30 in the morning, Devendra Fadnavis had taken the oath of a chief minister, and subsequently he missed that bus, and the MPA government was formed. So they are sulking since then and trying to bring out one over the other issue, just to harass the government. They got Palghar lynching, sadhus, Paramveer Singh, Anil Deshmukh. I think Anil Deshmukh and the other person have got already the clean chit from that Chandiwal commission. So there's nothing is working in favor of them.
Okay.
So then BJP has tried to take the shoulders of Navneet Rana, Raj Thackeray and all these people, which will not work. And his prediction, I think he will have to eat a humble pie that, 2 months the government is fall. I think he is living in a different...
we certainly don't have a crystal ball to predict the future. Perhaps he has some information. You say that is not happening. But let me bring in Mr. Vinod Bansal of the VHP. None of these issues have any traction, Mr. Vinod Bansal. Says Ravi Srivastava, he says that this is a desperation of the opposition parties to rake up issues, but none of this is actually gaining any traction on ground in Maharashtra. Your response to him?
You see, those who are opposing Hanuman Chalisa are not Hindutvadi. You see, those who are opposing Hanuman Chalisa, and they are trying to frame those who are going to chant Hanuman Chalisa in the anti-national and declaring them anti-national is not correct actually. अब देखिए कि जिस तरह से चाल चरित्र तो चेहरा शिवसेना का बदल रहा है, हनुमान चालीसा का जिस तरह से विरोध कर रहे हैं, हालांकि हम कोई हनुमान चालीसा, हम एमएनएस का जो प्रोपोगंडा है, हम उसका भी कोई समर्थन नहीं करते, क्योंकि विश्व हिंदू परिषद पॉलिटिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, हम किसी पॉलिटिकल कार्यक्रम को सपोर्ट नहीं करते। लेकिन हनुमान चालीसा का विरोध करना किसी भी सत्ताधारी के लिए बहुत भारी पड़ेगा। मैं कहता हूं, देखिए कि अगर हनुमान चालीसा अगर आप मातोश्री के बाहर भी पढ़ते हैं, तो बजाय उद्धव ठाकरे को कि उसका समर्थन करना चाहिए या उसको घर में बुलाकर के उसका स्वागत करना चाहिए कि हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ रहे हैं, आप उसमें देशद्रोह का केस लगा दोगे। उसने तो पढ़ा भी नहीं। अब कमाल की बात है, एक महिला के ऊपर, महिला सांसद के ऊपर देशद्रोह का केस लगाना कितना बड़ा हीनियस क्राइम है। आप सोचिए ना जी, आप देखिए कि महाराष्ट्र जो शिवाजी महाराज की धरती है, उसमें अफजल खान वाला काम हो रहा है। ये तो ठीक नहीं है ना जी। आप ये बताइए कि आखिरकार
can I respond?
Yeah, but Ravi Srivastava, I think there is one question that is being asked that I think many would like to know the answer of. He is saying that for a party that has championed Hindutva, championed the cause of Hindutva, now to be seen taking the kind of action, imposing a sedition case which many feel is unjustified or disproportionate at least. One may not be able to protest outside the Chief Minister's residence, but there are other legal ways to tackle that. There is preventive custody that could have been taken or should have been taken, and sedition, for instance, being slapped on Member of Parliament and her legislator husband, perhaps that was really disproportionate and shows that Shiv Sena is no longer committed to Hindutva. That's a question that is being raised by VHP and has been raised by BJP in the past. Your response to that?
Madhav, if you hear today's statement of Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, he has said that these are the people who had deceived Honorable BabaSaheb Thackeray. These are the people. Although I agree with this small part, that a faction of Sena believes in the hardcore Hindutva, they might be, getting attracted towards this kind of rallies and all. But by and large, the Shiv Sena is behaving in a certain fashion and they are working very well. I think my friend Mr. Bansal should know that this is a time for power chalisa or the water chalisa or education chalisa or health chalisa. That Hanuman chalisa we have been reciting in our houses last 8 years. And we don't need a lecture from any BJP or RSS or anyone. We know it's still reciting our houses. We do it on the street. We don't do it on the street. Don't make a show of it. Somebody for reciting. We know where the Hanuman Chalisa should be recited and when it should be recited. We know the sanctity of Chalisa. Please don't teach us what is Hanuman Chalisa.
Okay.
Whether it is banned area for Hanuman Chalisa.
All right, I'm going to request our guests to stay on with us. This debate is getting clearly heated and clearly, of course, a lot of passions being inflamed over here.